You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
Watch these summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
So all you're doing is hearing that.
Welcome back to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we really don't know shit. Where's that feedback coming from? Could be. So we've had some major technical difficulties today. Sorry about that. And we're still having them. Oh my God, it never ends. So we started late. Those of you that stayed with us, the two of you that stayed with us, thank you. Hopefully somebody will pick this up tomorrow. But we had an exciting show. We're still gonna try as best we can to make it as exciting as it was gonna be before. We only have a few minutes now because we wasted so much time trying to get this right. So I'm gonna bring in my man JB first up, stat man who knows every single thing about every single team, basketball and football. My man JB. What's up, JB?
Man, I wish I knew some tech. Shoot, we would have had this problem solved a long time ago.
Right, we could have fixed this a long time ago, man. But well, we didn't have a whole lot to talk about anyway, because sports in Chicago right now sucks.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Cubs. We can look at a little bit for those of us that are South Side that kind of,
Yeah, I'm not ready to talk about it.
Hey, it's Chicago. That's all we got.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all we got.
So then we might as well talk about the White Sox then, right? Nah.
Rico Benny's is still open. That's down the street.
Rico Benny, yes. We can talk about Rico Benny's. Damn, really good steak sandwiches.
My favorite.
The steak sandwiches there.
And cake shakes.
Cake shake. I never had the cake shake.
You gotta get a cake shake. Rico
Gotta
Benny's
get a
steak
cake
sandwich
shake.
with a red sauce and a cake shake.
Red sauce. Huh?
It's a good time.
Oh, wow. You having a good time with that red
It's a
sauce?
good time.
Pause. Is that a pause?
No, I don't even know where you're going. You gotta put the red sauce on the steak. What are we talking about?
Hey, so we have some great guests tonight. And as a matter of fact, the guests that we had tonight, they are going to resurrect the show She Said What She Said.
Bring it back to life.
Back to life.
Back to reality.
So Sherry started the show. Sherry Green, shout out to Sherry. She kept it alive for a minute. And then she decided to take a hiatus, which is cool. But she just ran away and never came back. So I found these two wonderful women who are going to pick up the show. And we are with them today. Let's bring them in. C-Way and Jay. You like that name? C-Way and Jay.
It's like a rap group.
What's happening, ladies?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, you all sound so soft-spoken and sweet, but we know that's not the case, right?
I mean, listen,
we know
can
that's
be,
not the
you can
case.
be soft spoken and sweet. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, is that what I am? No, but it's nothing wrong with it.
See, where how about you?
I'm definitely not soft spoken.
You're not soft-spoken. Can we hear her?
Bueller. Bueller.
JB, you
What?
showing your age, boy.
Her mic went away. Why did her
Did it?
mic? Yeah.
No, Kirk said everything was good.
Y'all can hear me?
Can you
I guess
hear?
in the chat. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. No, I'm not soft spoken.
No, it's soft-spoken.
It's a long day.
So you are like a Chicago Sky expert.
Yes, I think so.
You think so,
Yeah,
huh?
I try to be. Yeah, I definitely cover the sky, keep up with the sky.
Okay, so since you know everything, why are they only 5-11?
I mean, that's a loaded question.
How much time do we have?
We did have time. We did have time.
It's
I
a
think that's
loaded
a-
question. It's a load of.
Question.
Well, give me the short version of that answer.
I mean, one is it's very hard to win in the W right now. I mean, even right now, the team that is looked at to be contenders for the chip this year just lost in the Commissioner's Cup. We didn't get a chance to watch the whole game, but
I
that's
turned it off.
unfortunate. And so it's really, really hard to win in the W. So that's one. So there's a lot of good players on teams that have really bad records, and then you just have to look at like expectations. And I think the expectations were set high, maybe a little bit too high, and they're figuring it out. They're definitely figuring it out. So
I'm saying
they're
so.
trending the right way.
It's a lot of good players playing in Mexico right now.
There is. There's actually a really good player playing in
A,
Mexico right
a
now,
great
so
player playing in Mexico right
Who
now.
is that?
I think her name is Kennedy. She's pretty good.
Yeah.
She's
Kennedy Carter?
I think
She
she's
used
pretty
to
good.
play with the Sky.
I think she's pretty good at basketball. And
She's good at basketball.
she's-
Well, the Sky show neither. They need a lot of people good at
There's a
basketball.
lot of people.
we're guard deficient. We're guard deficient. We got a lot of forwards, not a lot of guards.
I mean, we have guards. I think we have guards that are good at certain things, and I think it's the art of creating your own shot, getting downhill, creating your own shot, like Kennedy can, and certain players can. I think that's what we probably need a little bit more of. Definitely, we need a ball handler, more ball handlers after Sloot went down. Rest of Sloot. So yeah, for sure.
Agreed. They're asking a lot of their starters that should not be starting, i.e. Kia Nurse, which is why she benched right now. But
So let me ask you all this then, because just from watching and knowing the game, I feel you're putting a lot on Cardoza, you're putting a lot on Reese, but you're not giving them any help because those are inside players. And to me, I think they should have gave Teresa Weatherspoon another year and give her the players that she needs to use. Like you said last year, no guard play. The last time that we looked last year, it was no guard play. So it's 2 years in a row, two different regimes, two different coaching staffs, still the same issue, no guard play. Where do we go from here? Because clearly it wasn't the coaching. And Angel Reese, I think she's a great player. She's more of that Dennis Rodman type to me, as opposed to she's not Asia Wilson.
I think that people expect for, I'll say this, in the NBA, people don't expect for NBA players to come out completely polished. Would you say that that's
Agreed.
true?
Agreed, for sure.
And I feel like we need to give the same leeway to WNBA players. They're not going to come out completely polished. Was Asia Wilson her rookie season? Absolutely not. Was she the Asia Wilson she is right now her sophomore season? No. Now was she cold? Yes, because she just got 5,000 points, right? She was definitely
closer than
yes.
what?
But you're talking about somebody who was a face-up guard. Understand, Angel was not a back to the basket player.
No.
That's not what she was when she was coming out of high school. That was not what she was at Maryland. Yes. So then they turned her into that. They turned her into that at LSU, and that's what we drafted because we're like, hey, Camilla's the back to the basket person. That's not how she played. Now, I like Teaspoon because I felt that she had them fired up. I felt like they played for her. I felt like they would run through a wall with her, and there's a very big difference between a fundamental developer coach and a coach who you'll play for. And I felt more fire from the Teaspoon, and you correct me on this. I felt more fire from her team. I felt like even if they were losing, they didn't hit shots. I felt like they were fighting. I felt more developmentally sound because I like the development I've seen out of Angel. Given she worked with Lisa, Unrivaled, allowed her to do her thing, but I wish that there was a medium. I want there to be a medium.
Well, I almost forgot the question. What
Is
your...
my question to you is, if you could have a medium between the fire of Teaspoon and the development of Tyler Marsh, would you take that as a coach?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think the middle ground between the two would be great, but I try not to move backwards. And I think I work really hard, and I think to move forward. I think we all have to move forward. It's very difficult, though. I know we all love Teaspoon. Teaspoon was a great coach. I don't think she got the opportunity to really show what she could do in 1 year. What coach in 1 year can really show what she can do. Teaspoon's very loved, still very loved by Angel, loved by, I think, the community. And, I wish Teaspoon the best, everything. She deserves everything. But yeah, I mean, as of right now, I like at least what we're seeing from Tyler Marsh and his development. He definitely took a risk pushing Angel to be this point forward and showing everything that she can be. And I think she's more than a Dennis Rodman. I think that's what she's showing. That's why she's player of the week. She's now averaged a double-double in her career. And I like how coach is pushing her to show people that she's more than a rebounder. I think in the beginning of the season, of course, you're going to have some growing pains with how that looks like. And now everybody's bringing the ball up. Now all the fours are bringing the ball up. I mean, Angel, I think, is pushing the needle. And so she's doing well. She's definitely doing well.
So
she's definitely a better scorer than Dennis Rodman. I think we're
early Dennis. When Dennis, like people don't know this, but at Southeast Oklahoma, Dennis was giving you 23 points.
Everybody was doing that in college, though. We talking about.
But that's what we're talking about. Even when he got to the Pistons, it was 10, 12 points, 15 boards. And for me, that's not a knock because that's what they need right now. Their shooting is so porous. They need somebody down there to get the boards go up. Cardoza, when she plays, Angel is still out rebounding. So my thing is, to your point, Seaway, with the point forward, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the ball up, get down there, and get the offense moving. But I cannot say that Marsh is developing them to a greater degree than what Teaspoon didn't have a chance to, because now, coming from Ken Mulkey's system, we saw at LSU, Angel Reese basically take people off the dribble, finish at the hole, 12-footer here and there, right? Hook, left, right. But she wasn't this point forward that Marsh is trying to make her now. And the reason he's making her this is because there's no guards.
I'd argue that her asset is that her passing is.
She can pass, yes. She can
pass. And she can steal. But you got to be able to use those assets. I understand what you're saying, but like, you got to be able to use those assets, right? Like the point of having a coach is somebody to bring out the best of a particular player's skill set, correct?
Agreed.
So I don't want to take away that from her. And to Seaway's point, I'm agreeing that she's more than just Dennis Rodman. Now, given we had Bulls Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman on the Bulls was not asked to score.
4 points, 17 Bulls.
He didn't need to. He didn't need to score. He did not need to score.
Right.
Right. Angel definitely needs to score.
So that's why I prefaced it as early Dennis.
But if I think that we're used to building like guard to forward. Like you get scoring and you're like, hey, we can get somebody to come in and get these rebounds, kick the ball out. What Chicago tried to do is they try to build forward to guard. We're gonna get our two bigs, and then we're gonna surround them with some guards, right? But I just don't think that we did a good job of picking the
They're
guards.
terrible.
I don't
No,
think we did a good job of
didn't.
picking the guards.
Didn't.
I think about in the WNBA.
Picking the guards at what point, Jay? Because let me go back not too long ago when you had Candace Parker and Vandersloot and all them, you had to play.
I get you,
Candace
but we
Parker
had Kai.
Candace Parker came back. She made the choice to come back.
Yes.
So they really
She
didn't.
We had Kai.
But the thing
We had
is,
Ariel Atkins. We had
Correct.
guards.
guards.
We had guard play.
So-
Ariel Atkins is a pro.
If you're asking, and I'm not comparing the two players, but if you're asking Angel Reese to be in a Candace Parker type role, the skill sets are too different. So let me just
They're
let me-
not
let me-
asking
let me,
that,
Let me
Fran.
push myself then. I won't say early Dennis Rodman. What about Draymond Green? Because Draymond Green initiates the offense. He brings the ball up. He's the playmaker, but he also gets the assist.
She ain't beat
He also-
nobody.
But I
up,
think
though.
she's playing like
But I'm saying-
she's
but
playing
I'm
a
saying-
better
yeah.
Draymond though.
She's way
I
better.
think she's playing
And
actually
that's fine.
better
I'm
than
just trying
Draymond.
to get a comparison so that the people in the audience.
I
know
don't think Angel
who you
has
compare.
I don't think she has a comparison.
I think she's really in her own lane.
she really is. Like if you look at her, did you watch the game against the Sparks? Real talk, did you watch the game against the Sparks? To me, that Sparks game,
Because they won.
no, because she was absolutely the fourth quarter. They could not stop her. They couldn't stop her from getting rebounds. They couldn't stop her from scoring. They couldn't stop her from passing. She's unstoppable in those moments. And that's also the reason why in Cardoso's 27-point game, where she's getting those, Angel hit her with what, 4 assists?
Yeah, she was.
And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
If you can get them
That's
to play that
Draymond
way,
type factor.
that is, but it
But she's
is
still,
and it
but
isn't.
but the thing is that the reason why I say there's no comparison is because she's doing Draymond things, but then she's on the board like Josh Hart, like an extreme, just freak of nature rebounder. So she's like a Josh Hart with the motor, Draymond with the passing and the point forward, and then her just resilience on the glass. I mean, that's why I say there's no comparison.
She could be a mixture of all three.
She's a mixture
And
of all
we'll
three.
Take that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, for Marsh, to our first point, the develop the whole player, not just what you need because you're lacking. Because when you look at the stats, she's still shooting terribly.
But she's
not the last four games.
working.
Last 4 games, she's 52%. That's true.
It's getting better.
That's true. But if you're
She's getting
asking for
better.
development, you can't develop the first 2 games of the season,
No, you can't.
right? So
You
she's definitely getting better, and her percentage is better than it was last season. But I also want us to understand, if you look at Asia Wilson's, we go on 1-for-1. You look at Asia Wilson's rookie season stats, her shooting percentage was terrible then too.
It was a lot
It was-
better than Angels.
It was
We
2.
talking
It
about
was
two different
2%.
beasts.
It was 2 percentage points better.
I mean, the entire
That's-
W is in a slump with Phil. It just feels like
I'm just
She was rookie of
saying.
the year too. Like
I'm just saying.
it
You
just feels
understand what I'm
like
saying?
field goal percentage. Only time people are watching field goal percentages when it comes to Angel. And I'm not even. It just
Facts.
feels like that's the only time I hear about plus minus and field goal percentage when it comes to Angel. Because sometimes, I'm not saying y'all, it just feels like people aren't even watching. And so when they look at the stats, they're like, okay, field goal percentage. But if you watch the game, these last 4 games, she was the most dominant person on the floor.
listen what you said. The last 4 games.
Last 4.
We're
The
going off of last
WNBA.
season in this game. She
Can
just
can you tell me what the shooting percentage is for the WNBA? Oh,
average is I think
Average.
it's like 38, 39.
it's
right?
44%.
So it's up again.
Okay, it's
yeah,
40%. What is the average for NBA?
about the same.
So that's what I'm talking about. So what are we talking about? So
The-
to me, that's not.
The field goal percentage for Angel, though, like I said, a lot of it, and I'm speaking on behalf of the fans and what people are seeing. Not like you said, don't look at the stat line, but they'll see her miss this, get it back, miss this.
They're not watching.
But they not. But even if she does that 4 times and scores, that's on the defense.
We see tenacity and hustle. We see drive that never give up attitude. I'll take that any day. You miss, go get it back.
We grew up on 90s ball though.
Come on.
That's 90s ball.
Exactly. But somebody is looking to critique, and I use that word loosely. They're just looking at what next chink is in her armor.
And I don't respond. I think I don't
I
respond to
don't
those
respect
people.
that,
Yeah, I don't
but
respect
that's
that.
what the
I don't respect that.
And I
Our
but you
good
can't
people at
you can't
ESPN.
speak you can't speak to those people though. You can't
They're
I
not
don't
gonna
I would
listen.
spend all day responding to those people. I would say actually watch the game. Watch the game. I brought people to the game and friends to the game. The whole arena will tell you she was the most dominant person on that floor. The most dominant person on that floor. I think she's exceeded expectations since the moment that she got in the league, breaking records, from the moment that she got in the league. Does she have flaws? Everybody has flaws, but the things that she does well, she does better than everybody.
She's gonna break 1,000 rebounds this season, which is wild. But that's wild. She's ahead. Her rebounds through 50 games, she's what, 70 rebounds above the next person? Like, that's ridiculous, and that's a skill. That is a skill.
I'm gonna get us tickets to go to a Sky game.
Yeah, I think people need to go.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Okay, I didn't ask you that though. I'm gonna get us tickets to go.
I'm gonna be honest. Wintrust is one of my favorite because it's intimate. And I was team anti-Wintrust. I want to put that on the record.
It's not a bad arena.
I was team anti-Chicago playing for Wintrust, but that's a whole different story. But different story. However, Wintrust with the Sky, especially when it's packed,
it's a good vibe.
That vibe is
unmatched. I also want to push back on the guards being bad.
Go ahead.
They're not bad, and I do understand if I watch them all the time. I'm there all the time. I spend a lot of time. If I was watching casually or from time to time, I probably would say the guards are bad. Watching like closely, they're not bad. They're playing poorly, out of position. But it's not even just poorly.
They're being stretched.
They're being stretched. For example, Rachel Banham is a sharpshooter.
Yeah,
she's a 3-point shooter. She's being a complete pro right now because she is being asked to be a point guard, and she has been a pull-up set shooter her entire veteran career. And in these last couple of games, she has found a way to not only still be a sharpshooter, but bring the ball up without turning the ball over. And you're asking a vet. That's like trying to make us do something new.
I didn't know she had that bag, I'm going to be honest. I didn't think she had that bag.
But she's a pro. Same thing. Kia Nurse, her skill set as a veteran is a long ball sharpshooter. She's been asked to do lots of different things. Ariel Atkins was asked to pull up the ball. That's not her position. And so sometimes I feel like it's not fair to say they're just playing out of position.
To me, there you go.
That's on the GM because which is when we're talking about bad guard play, out of position. It is a poorly constructed team that only has position players, as in we're only asking you to shoot the ball.
I think we should move it that way. And I think take some heat off of those guards because they're getting clipped up all the time.
That's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
And I'm seeing them work, and I'm seeing them do things that is a lot to be asked of them. Fair. And I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it well. I think everybody is being stretched, maybe outside of like Camilla's still in her position, but Angel to all of the guards are being stretched. And when Sloot went down, people got really stretched.
But there's a lot of like Julie Newman, like there's other people out there that weren't on teams, like you said, Kennedy Carter. If you have Drea, like there's people that you can bring back.
I don't understand why. I don't understand.
You don't have to sit there and stretch a team to the point of exhaustion.
You don't. And
they lean too heavy
on that call. You surely don't.
No, that's true. I feel that in the WNBA, and this is my issue with the entire league, they lean very heavy on vet, which is important. But it's kind of like you put your work in, so we're going to reward you with a spot. And I'm going to use Las Vegas as an example. I don't know why KB is still on the team.
Well, they gave her that last GM gave her
nice little bit of change.
They gave her the what is it? The player the team option. She picked up a team option, so she's actually protected
from being cut.
Yeah, she can't be cut.
That's wild.
Cap hit probably be too high.
Yeah, I mean, cut her. Yeah, if you cut her, you just
But that
can't cut her.
You can't. You might not can't cut her. Maybe you can't cut her. But is she even playing? Is she suiting up? Is she?
She's played a few games.
That's wild to me. Like that kind of stuff. And I guess this is something that they're probably going to address when they do this collective bargaining agreement at the end of the season.
There needs to be more. It needs. I think even before the expansion, there has to be more roster spots.
I was going to say that they need to expand the rosters first.
The rosters have to be expanded.
Before you bring in 2 more teams.
Next year is one. Toronto, right? Toronto comes next year.
I thought it's 2, right?
In Portland. So we got 2 more teams. So that's what? 24
Because they call 11 to 12 per team, right? It's not 15.
It's 12 per team max, but they usually carry 10 to 11.
10 to 11
because of cap. So we're expanding then, and then it's what, one more each year until
that CBA is over,
until 2030,
and then
so
it comes
we got
back
one more each year until 2030.
Well, they're negotiating. Satu said today at a post game that they got a response, and it was a slap in the face. And so I also think that everyone needs to prepare themselves for a lockout, because if the NBA and team owners can't move, as far as these percentages, it's going to be tough. And that's another thing that I think is so high level complicated, that if people sat down and really wanted to learn, they would. But once you realize how many hands are in this pot for the WNBA, and that's why they're actually not making a lot of money, is because you have the NBA has a hand in the pot, the WNBA has a hand in the pot, the WNBA owners have a hand in the pot, and this investment group has a hand. That's a lot.
It's not a lot of pie to go around.
It's not a lot of pie to go around with all those people involved.
But what I look at is the shared revenue, right?
I like pie.
The shared revenue for me, right? More than half of the NBA teams have a G League team, right? Why wouldn't more than half of the NBA have a WNBA team? It just seems like that's good math, right? Like it should be that way, because the revenue is going to come. A lot of them share the same arenas. A lot of them may not have the same marketing, but you have the same people that work for both teams. Why not go ahead and make the product better and get, like you said, some of those other hands, get them out that pot, buy them people out. The NBA is what, a $26 billion operation.
I think that's the part of the. I think you're hitting on what we're seeing. Some of the biggest.
But you said 2030, like that's still 5 years from now. Like happening in 5 years in a lockout, we already know how lockouts work. That sets everything back.
Well, that's
true.
We're talking about that.
That's this season.
That's this season. But
that's
the expansion teams. A big part of the most recent kind of talking, I wouldn't say drama, but somewhat drama, is that the 3 new teams that were awarded all had NBA shared ownership. And so there were a lot of
Tennessee was shafted.
Yeah, there was a lot
Tennessee
of
was
that was supposed to be
Tennessee.
They would have been the only pro basketball team.
And Tennessee, but if we're talking about we want to grow the sport,
put it there.
When we're talking about Tennessee and women's basketball, that is synonymous.
Pat Summit,
that is synonymous.
Lady Volunteers.
That is synonymous.
We talking about Hose Claw. We talking about Candace.
Tennessee before UConn, for y'all newbies to the game. Tennessee was it.
You know,
Tennessee was it. It was USC, and then you had Tennessee, USC, UCLA had a lot of.
But that's not what they. But that's not. Clearly, there's reasoning behind. They have their reasons as to why.
Well, if it's political, then obviously we'll never know the truth.
I don't even think it's. I guess if you're calling money political.
Oh, it's always political. Somebody got to pay for it.
Yeah, I think
they had an ownership group that was tough.
If the NBA ownership is already so much involved in the WNBA, it makes sense. I'm not saying I agree, but I'm saying I'm starting to see why the Pat Summit group or the Tennessee group got ignored.
Yeah,
but. I don't want to spend too much on this, but we'll leave like this. When the right palms are greased, you see stuff happen. When the other person's nose isn't getting, their beak isn't getting wet enough, same reason why the NBA can't go back or hasn't went back to Seattle, and they've been talking about that for the better part of 20 years now.
That's true.
It's the wrong person has not gotten that.
Money is money. Listen, I don't have billionaire problems, so
right. So and they're not going to let us know their problems, right?
I don't know. This is a billionaire conversation.
Right.
Absolutely.
I don't have nothing to do with that.
Let's switch up a little bit. And let's talk. Did you all see the draft, the NBA draft?
Some of it.
So I said on this podcast, the Bulls are gonna do Bulls shit. And what that is, they usually draft a foreigner. That might be a project. Somebody who's not going to play right away.
Who did you want them to draft?
I did not want them to draft anybody. I wanted them to trade that and try to get a player that's going to come in and help them. And I also wanted them to trade Vooch. I'm tired of seeing him come down and shoot threes all the time. He shoots
love
threes
Vooch?
all the
The
time.
Bulls are in basketball purgatory.
Vooch is so cool.
They gotta lose. You either gotta lose or you gotta win. They're always a
Can't
playing
do
team,
either.
and there's no way. What's the last playing team? Who are the last two playing teams? Who are the
9 and 10.
No. Who? What teams were they?
Miami and the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
Always. Like the last 3 years.
Okay, so when was the last time either one of those teams was successful?
Well, Miami actually went to the championship. So
When?
2 years ago, Jimmy Butler. Remember they went to
Yes.
the championship.
But
They lost, but they went to the
But what I'm
finals.
saying is specifically playing teams. If you are a playing team, you're basically just messing up your draft pick because most likely
you back in the middle.
you're back in the middle.
Right.
So you either gotta lose, you gotta make up your mind to lose. But the issue is the Bulls are the Bulls, and y'all gonna go to the games. It's one of the highest valued franchises.
Yes, we are.
People gonna
No, you know what? I made the decision. I was a Bulls season ticket holder for 2 years. Put a lot of money in the Bulls. I finally put my money where my mouth is. Finally.
You took your money back?
I took my money back.
Good.
You know what? It was very scary at first.
Was it
I have FOMO. I'm a FOMO person. But once I just like really sat back, I was like, I am so proud of myself. I said, because I feel like they just don't care. And
yeah, for me it was the Bulls and the
Right.
I put the Bulls and the White Sox on chopping block. Bulls went first. White Sox about to get the big chop because you can't be a fan of all these Chicago
But the
teams.
arena,
Same owner, by the way. Same owner.
Jerry Reinsdorf, you
The
can't be
arena
a
is
fan
full.
of his
Yeah.
team.
The arena is full.
The games are fun.
So
and the games are fun.
They just lose.
The games are fun.
Let me get that alternate.
The
Sox-
atmosphere.
The atmosphere
Sox-
is all right.
First of all, the Craft Cave is one of the. We're not gonna get on the Sox back, but the Craft Cave is one of the most.
You know
Why not?
You know why I like the Sox right now? Because I can buy a ticket way up there, and somebody will be like, "Hey, you want to come down?" And for $5, I'm on the third baseline. Like, "Hey,
I can get a last minute
For
ticket on
free.
I'm sorry, for free."
I can
For
get a
free.
last minute ticket for the 300 level. Go to the Craft Cave,
Yeah, and
watch
be
the
good.
game, and be right behind,
right there,
right behind right field.
right there.
It's a great atmosphere. But I'm tired of atmosphere and cool jerseys. That's all we got. All we got is atmosphere
Hey,
and nice
those
jerseys.
black and red joints.
They
those
are
black and-
cold.
they
Those are
cold.
some
I wish
of the
they were black
coldest.
and blue, but that's another story.
The, Chicago has some cold jerseys and sweaters. Shout
But
out
you
to
know what? That's
hockey.
the bait and switch. That's the
When I saw
that's
that,
the banana and the
I
potato pie.
legitimately said I'm not about to buy no more. White Sox are gonna get no money out of me. And then they dropped this jersey, and here I am
That's
with a
the-
custom
That's the
Bulls
banana
White
and the
Sox
tailpipe.
Jordan jersey with 45 on the back. This is the problem: is they give us the bait and switch. They give us cool jerseys.
Their
Well,
marketing is
Seaway,
great.
did you pull your money out the Sox too, or you never put it in? Good.
She ain't playing
Good
with
job.
that.
She was serious when she said, "Oh, my
that.
money."
Look, you see the store. Look, what?
I mean, I'll be honest. The Bulls season, they was getting more money out the Bulls season tickets than they did.
Well, I
out
think
my
it was the
little
audacity.
jersey.
They went up.
They did for
And
inferior product.
Yeah, and I said, I wrote them. I said, you went up.
She wrote it. That's
said
the,
a
see, that's
strong
that.
word
That's
about
that attorney.
I'm like,
Right.
you went
Right.
up after what y'all did.
I would really like a Moesha moment of you reading that breakup letter with the Bulls.
I was like, they asked me a question. I said,
You got a fourth wall that joint though.
Yeah,
You definitely got a
and we
fourth.
gotta put the music in.
Right, and right at the
Dear
camera,
Diary.
you got a fourth wall.
I
that
mean,
joint.
because when they traded DeMar, I was a huge DeMar fan, and I don't care if they were winning. He came out there and he just worked hard every game, and I was like, okay, for DeMar, I'll come to the game. When they traded DeMar, got Josh Giddey, no, I do not care if he was playing good or not. I completely lost it. And then they brought in, then Zach was traded. Okay, fine, bye.
I was a Caruso fan. I don't know why.
But yeah, then it
I
was
really
Alex.
liked
Yeah,
Caruso.
so it was the loss of Alex to bring in Josh Giddey. Then we lost DeMar. I just
don't know what they.
I just couldn't care.
Well, first of all, AK don't know what he's doing. Now let's strip away the nice people right now. Now we digging in because now you welcome to my world. We look at what the Bulls product is. It's inferior.
Absolutely.
We look at the product and we say, well, what are you doing? What is your goals? We haven't had a solid draft pick since Bobby Porter's. Now people say, well, Bobby Porter's wasn't good. I say it's solid.
No, he's solid.
Solid. He's going to Milwaukee, got a bag, got a championship.
Good for him.
You know what we do?
I liked Portis.
We draft Patrick Williams when we needed Tyrese Halliburton or Obi Toppin. Because what was our draft needs? Point guard, power forward. We draft Patrick Williams.
Then
Then we lose a pick.
When's the last time we had a good point guard?
Derrick Rose.
I was about to say.
He wasn't really a point guard though.
He was a point
He's
guard.
just
was our point guard.
That's what he played.
Yeah, he was our
He
point
was
guard,
lit-
but
he
he
was
wasn't
listed- but
really
that's
a
what he
point
was
guard.
listed as.
24, 6, and 7. I'll take it.
He was really a
listed
shooting
as
guard.
It don't, but
He
that's
was
what-
our
Really,
point guard.
he
I'll take
played
it.
point.
I mean, so
for us,
you gonna
though.
say Steph Curry not a point guard?
But
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other conversation. But yes, on paper, he's the point guard. He's just a combo guard, if you want to call it that. But that's neither here nor there.
But I feel like
Because-
that's the NBA now. Combo is the
well,
NBA.
not just that.
Yeah, it is.
But let's stick to what he said. The Bulls are going to do bullshit. You drafted last year Montez Bucelis.
He's good.
6'9". He's okay.
He's
Montez
You
is-
said solid.
my
He's
task
solid.
is
Okay.
He's solid.
So we got solid. So we
Solid and okay is.
if he was on a
Splitting
different
hairs.
team, though, he would be doing a lot better.
Let me tell you why. I'm gonna get there. So 6'9", 6'10", 207 pounds. Powerful.
When we already had Julian.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Okay.
The guy we drafted this year
It's
Noah
another-
Asante?
it's another Julian.
is 6'10", 209 pounds. You just drafted the black version of the same guy.
3 times in a row.
I'm sorry, the black foreign version of the same guy.
It's the same person.
It's the same person.
3
Three
times.
times in a row. And
When
then
I looked, I said,
wait,
this is the
and
same
don't
person
for-
3 times.
don't forget to sprinkle dancing Dalen Terry in there.
4 times.
the cheerleader.
6'7" point guard. Oh, you another small forward. What are we doing? Then you extend Javon Carter, Chicago guy. You know, love him, but you know he ain't moving the needle. Yeah, he opted in 5.8 mil. 5.8. That's
Did
what
y'all
happens
like-
when you get him
Did y'all like
contracts.
Kobe?
I like Kobe.
That is
Kobe
the
is
only
decent.
bright spot.
Kobe's decent.
But
Because Kobe is a draft pick too, right?
he is
he's
but
inconsistent, but
No.
he's decent.
20 points.
He's decent.
4 rebounds.
Kobe
I wanna
is a
say 5 or 6
baller,
assists.
though.
He shot
Kobe's a baller.
37%.
I was
from the
mad at
three,
Kobe
90
because
from
he's
the
part
free
of the
throw.
reason we were in basketball purgatory because
Because
he
he
was
played
actually
well.
trying.
Now,
I need you to stop trying.
here's the BS again.
I mean, I'm being honest. I need you to stop trying.
You're right. That purgatory word again. But to my boy's credit, the bullshit again, right? Bullshit. 2 years ago, you was trying to trade Kobe White. Remember,
That's 'cause
Kobe
he
White
was-
was dangling.
He was playing like
But
trash.
I have a question.
He was
It didn't
playing like
develop him.
I
trash.
have a question. Don't in life people do what you allow?
Facts.
When you don't set boundaries, don't.
Especially in that arena, yes.
Yeah, don't they do what you allow?
Yes.
Correct.
AK does whatever he does because there's no fear, there's no repercussions. Our coach does whatever he does because there's no fear, there's no repercussions. All he does is get extended. This and then they do whatever to the fans because all they do is show up. I have zero expectations because no one requires anything of the Bulls. People still talk about them even though they're doing nothing.
That's Chicago sports.
No one requires. Are you speaking of the media or the fan base?
Everybody.
Everybody. I agree.
I
That's
wanna touch on
Chicago
that.
sports. That's Chicago sports.
Who bucked the system in 2016, 2015, 2016?
Tell me.
The Cubs.
We're not going to talk about that.
No, but it's let me say why, whether you're a Cubs fan or not.
No. It's not.
It's
not.
valid to
It's
this point.
This is the reason why. This is the reason I'm going to say this.
Mhm.
When ownership doesn't give a fuck about the fan base,
Come on.
they do better. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna say it this way. Everybody hated Jerry Krause. Can we say everybody had?
Everybody hated Jerry Krause.
Krause.
I
But
didn't
what
hate
did
him.
Michael
but
Jordan
what did-
hated
but-
Jerry
but
Krause.
what did
I didn't
Jerry
hate him
Krause
until
do?
98.
But what did Jerry Krause? You might not have, but what did Jerry Krause do?
Gave you a
Jerry
winner.
Krause put together a good team
A dynasty.
before he
We
split them up.
see
God
what
damn it.
was going on with the Wurtzes. Everybody really hated the Wurtzes, but what did the Wurtz do?
No, but that was real hate because Daddy didn't want them on TV unless they sold out. That was different.
Wait.
However, it don't matter. But what did they give us?
The Black Hawks.
They
Championships.
Is the owner. The Wurtzes are the owner.
So
of the
Bill
Blackhawks.
Wirtz used
Bill
to own own it,
Yeah.
and then when he passed on, his son
So,
Rocky.
to
So what are
Rocky
you
was
saying?
on.
We need
We need to
to hate?
have. They need to stop. They need to stop caring so much about what fans do and put a product
Wait.
I
Put
hate
a
these
product
motherfuckers.
So-
on that too. But we need to get a winning product. This is they're not. I don't feel like they care about a winning product. I feel like they care about profit. And when you care more about the product and you don't give a hell about profit or what's gonna make you money or doing all this other stuff, that is when you succeed.
And
I
that's
feel
my
like that's
point, Jay.
because that's Chicago sports.
So that's my point to the Cubs, because the Cub fan base, when Ricketts bought the team, they was doing all this cheap stuff and we was playing on the field, and they was like, who the hell? And then they noticed, man, the rooftops, ain't nobody on the rooftops no more. Cubs fan base said, we're not going to the game no more until you give us a product worth cheering for. In comes Theo Epstein. Let me go get a baseball guy that's known for doing this.
That's why I said until Bulls fans require more, I don't want to hear nothing from them. Because all they do is show up.
I refuse to go to a game. Jimmy Butler could give me tickets to the Bulls game, and I'm not going.
Man, if I gave you a Bulls ticket right now,
I'm not going.
Because they're not
I'll
playing right
Ask
now.
my mother. I'm not
I'll
going.
go to any game. I went to a Sox game.
You know what? I don't want to deal with the travel just to be disappointed.
No, I
They have really good hot dogs.
I haven't bought a Cubs ticket in ages, but I go to free game. I go to any free game.
They got the best hot dogs at the Cubs
free
game.
game.
Best hot dog.
And I'll say this: I play rugby. I'm a rugby fan. I go to Chicago Hounds games.
Wow, a lot of people didn't know about that.
Last season didn't know about, but they went to the playoffs last
They
season.
did.
So
And the lacrosse team is they just came right last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we got
stuff,
a women's
man.
rugby team now.
I want to
I got a couple of friends who play for that team, and you just got to diversify your sports. I might have to start going to roller derby so I can see some winning.
Wow, I want
You
to
know what I'm
start
saying? Like,
diversifying. I want to go to this
because you can't trust the Bulls. The Bears doing a little something. The Bears doing a little something. The White Sox.
let's go there. Hold on. You said the roller derby. I was trying to ask my mom real quick. What was we used to watch it on TV? The roller derby. That was some cold stuff.
Yeah.
Them people
That's basically tackle football, but on
skates.
skates.
Yes,
So all
love
I'm
it.
saying is, if you want to be happy as a Chicago sports fan, you're gonna have to diversify your assets.
You can't, the Chicago Wolves always win.
I'm the diversified.
Become a Chicago Wolves fan. IHL. Shout out to Frank.
Listen. They or go to the Schaumburg Bandits or whatever they call whatever the minor league baseball.
Kane
team is.
County
You gotta
Cougars
go.
used to win.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Chicago Fire got a chip.
Listen.
But you said something about the Bears. Let's segue to that real quick because I know time is getting short.
Let's deep dive into that. Bears. So we now have.
See why you said you're not gonna watch?
I don't watch, but I'll let y'all.
No. Talk about why don't you watch? Yeah.
Inquiring
minds want to know.
I just don't
I want to know.
Wait, what was the shit that dude used to say from the football league? You know, the one that wore his suit jacket sleeves up, said something about inquiring minds.
Inquiring minds want to know.
No, but he said it like a different kind of way. It was like real funny.
Oh my God!
I was talking about the old commercial.
Right. Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiry minds. Something he said. It was funny.
Again,
but anyway,
I got a lot of rugby homies. A lot of rugby homies don't like football because it's not as fast paced. Like rugby doesn't stop. It's like running clock like soccer, right? And rugby is the grandfather of football. They played it here for like 2 seconds. It was like we changing all this shit around. So I get it. I love football though. So with the Bears, I am excited, tentatively excited, because this is the first coach that I've been excited about since
that's
kind
of like
personally.
Cautiously optimistic.
Like this is the best coach I feel that we've had since Lovie Smith.
Well, I definitely love a good football game. I will go to the Bears game.
But when you root for them, past your fandom of Chicago,
it seems like somebody needs to invite us to a Bears game.
I would just go to a Bears game. I mean, sure. If I'm there, I'm rooting for everybody Chicago.
It seems like hint, hint, wink, wink. Somebody needs to invite us to a Bears game.
Yeah, JB.
No, we're talking about Seaway. Like if you want to get some tickets,
hint, wink, wink.
I will go to the Bears game.
That would be a perfect
That's
segue into I'm giving away
all those soldier feet. So how we feel about? That's what I want to know. How y'all feel about the Bears? How y'all feel about the Bears moving to Arlington Heights?
Man,
first of all, I don't think they're moving.
I hope they don't move to Arlington Heights.
It is June of 20. I'm sorry. It is July of 2025, and ain't shovel hit a speck of dirt yet. it's still some stuff brewing, y'all. Because
you
even
think you think City of Chicago don't get them?
well, not just that. Remember, they asked money from the government. And,
I don't know if
the
they're gonna get
hold
some money.
up.
Because Pritzker's that
he don't want to get any
It's
money.
not about
Pritzker's
that.
not
It's not
gonna-
about that. We
Pritzker.
know what the holdup was. It was about betting. That was part of the holdup of the City of Chicago. It was an issue with betting.
But there's a
The
casino
city-
in Chicago now. A lot of people
It
don't know.
is.
It's called Bally's.
It is. But the city wanted off top. Wanted
Oh
some
well,
money
yeah.
off
Well,
top
they
of
want
that
they
betting,
yeah.
and they don't want to give it up. So that's part of the reason. But that's a lot of the. It's all money. Again, billionaire problems. This is all.
Remember this?
Right. If the right hands get greased, Chicago will stay in Chicago. I mean, we can agree. I've been to many a stadium. I went to the Bears game in London. When I tell you Wembley Stadium, Wembley Stadium is the best.
Listen, up.
Listen, my ticket was $370 US.
That's not bad.
US, not bad. Premium seats.
Wait a minute.
Unlimited-
Wembley Stadium.
I went to the Bears Raider game, first game over there.
You talk about Jag. Yeah.
First game over there. It was covered, so we didn't get rained on. It was raining on the field, but not on us.
Mhm.
Unlimited alcohol, unlimited snacks. When we went there, it was a black girl waiting. She said, I ain't never seen a black person up here. So we got premium. I'm drinking Macallan
Woo!
for $370.
Scotch. Top tier, top shit.
Top shit.
Wow.
Sitting next to a dude who just gets season tickets everywhere. He said, my company pays me in both US and he said, I have season tickets to 3 different NFL teams. I just like to go to NFL games. That's why we came here. That stadium,
I need to find
that
that dude.
stadium was cold. Going from that stadium to going to Soldier Field,
Let down.
listen,
Yeah.
seats is that's all I'm saying. If Arlington Heights is giving me that,
I'm gonna let Seaway close it out, and then I'm gonna answer your question because I know Seaway, you gotta get out of
Yeah.
here. So, where are we gonna find you? Obviously,
Mhm.
Wednesday with the new and improved.
I think it's
right?
gonna be on Mondays.
The new and improved on
Yeah, we have to
Mondays.
sort that out. Probably Mondays, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Is it gonna stay? She said what she said, or is it gonna be like she said what she said? Damn it!
Wow. Damn it.
Well, I don't curse, so we add.
I'm about to say, I'll say the damn it.
Look, darn it! The odd couple. It just happened.
Gosh
Just like
darn.
that. It just happened. It just Oscar and Felix. It just happened.
I can't wait for it to get started. Do you all have an idea of when you all want to start the show?
I think they said August, right?
Mhm.
So we'll be talking
Okay,
about it.
that's what's up.
All right.
We will definitely be in tune. See where we thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Again, we apologize. Thank you for your love and patience. We know these technical difficulties. I'm gonna flip this.
I understand.
But they got before you get out of here, why don't you share your TikTok with everybody if they want to follow you?
Oh, sure.
and hear
Yeah.
about the sky.
If you want to see me, yeah, it's TikTok. It's Seaways World Esquire. So ITCWAYSESQ.
She a lawyer, y'all.
Yeah. And that's at TikTok.
Esquire. If
Esquire.
I ever
And the
was-
same thing on Instagram. So it's Seaways World Esquire. I talk about all things WNBA and some NBA, MNBA.
and a little Love Island on there.
And a little Love Island, which you know I do need to watch.
If you miss one day, y'all miss a
Yeah.
lot.
Wait, is Love
What
Island?
the
Is that
hell
the
is
90-day
Love
thing?
Island?
No,
What is that?
It's like a phenomenon.
and they're blowing up my phone.
Really?
Are you caught up? No, I'm not. I need to go and watch.
I'm gonna have to Google
I don't know what
You
that
got it.
is.
You gonna have to go.
But it sounds like something I don't want to watch anyway.
No, you should.
Nah, the fellas are into it this year. The fellas are
Really?
locked in
I'm
this
seeing more
year.
videos from the dude.
I ain't gonna lie. I do have a guilty pleasure. I do watch 90 Day Fiance. That's
Oh,
Hey,
it's like
hilarious.
90 Day. You would like.
It'd be
you would like
hilarious.
Love
You would like Love Island.
Like,
It's a
dude,
bad
you know she
trash.
playing you, right? But
I don't watch Love Island, but my seatmate at work keeps
Okay.
me caught up.
Island.
on
You better feel like you watch it because we don't tell you.
That was for you. That's what happens.
That's
So
for
see
real.
where we thank you. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thank
You
you.
know,
We
Make sure
appreciate
y'all follow that TikTok, right?
Yes.
Now back to you.
J Money.
What's up?
We're gonna get along famously, but
Oh yes, y'all will.
here's where the rubber gonna meet the road. for
I
you.
see where.
Thank you.
Be cool.
Okay, thanks for
We'll
having
be
me.
in
See you,
touch.
girlie.
And it's gonna be literally based on this one answer.
Where's the Jeopardy music?
I'm old school. I'm Stump the Schwab.
Okay.
I done beat him twice.
Oh my God.
What is your expectation for the Bears this year? Because you did say you're excited for this coach. T is excited for this coach.
I am.
No.
Now,
I'm not
You're
excited.
nicer than
I'm not that excited.
I'm gonna be
Chris is
honest.
a
I'm
fan.
a realistic. I'm a realistic fan. I'm a realistic fan. I believe now this. I feel like this is controversial because most people are like, I need, 10-6 or whatever. I'm cool with 9 wins.
As long as
I see growth. If I
I'm
see
with
growth,
that.
if I see
I'm
growth
with
in
that.
Caleb Williams, if I see an offensive line that actually stands the hell up, if I see Romo Dunze do Romo Dunze shit,
stop dropping the ball.
That's Romo Dunze shit. I don't
no,
want to see him do that.
He cost me money.
I don't want to see him do that.
No.
He cost me
College Romo Dunze was not that guy. College Romo, I honestly felt like it was a lot of wide receivers in that room. You had Keenan was the problem last season. We're not talking about a rookie. Keenan was the problem. Keenan routed up, running the best routes in the world. Allen dropping the ball was the problem. If we're being 100% honest,
Keenan was also the most targeted.
He dropped
Second
the ball
most
a
targeted.
lot.
Because he was in the
ball a
slot.
lot.
That's if you
A rookie quarterback slot and tight end should be a number 2.
This is what I'm saying. If you put whoever's in the slot is gonna get the ball because that's the read. 1-2 boom. If I'm not seeing that route, I'm going to the slot. So if you're in the slot, you got to catch the ball. If you're in the slot, you got to catch the ball. Now,
First time in his career he's had this many drops.
he was dealing with a lot of injuries. I mean, he was dealing with injuries last season.
Nagging
and injuries.
He played.
He did
15 games. He missed 2 games.
And at the end of the season, he was picking it up when he was getting his touchdown throws and all that other stuff. If I see growth from Caleb Williams, I feel like I was screaming at a wall when I was like, y'all are just not seeing, like, his vision is way better when it was the Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields thing. His vision is way better. The hardest thing for a rookie quarterback to get over, in general, the hardest thing for a rookie quarterback to get over is spending too much time in the pocket.
Burping the baby.
Right? That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing to get over. If I see him getting rid of the ball, I'd rather you lose it down. I'd rather you put the defense on the field. If I see him getting rid of the ball, if I see the offensive line actually being an offensive line and blocking, if I see Cole Kmet getting actual targets, if I see our new draft pick getting actual targets, then I'll see it. But I have faith because the plays that they was running in Detroit.
This ain't Detroit.
It ain't, but the play calling is the play calling. And we're getting what we wanted, which is we have our base, and then we're running 15, 20 plays out of the same. We ain't had that. That's what we're asking for. Switch it up. Be creative. We want some creative. Now, do we have a running back?
I'll
No.
challenge you with this.
We don't have no running back.
We don't have a running back.
Who's the running back?
We got DeAndre
There
Swift.
ain't no running back.
Wow.
What did he do last
I've been told
season?
I'm not a fan
What did he
of
do
him.
last season?
Wow,
What did he do
really?
last
I'm not a
season?
fan of him.
I'm more of a fan of Ian
He
Wheeler.
was
and that man ain't
decent
even on
last
the
season,
field.
man.
Ian Wheeler. Remember I brought up Ian Wheeler? She brought up Ian Wheeler.
Because he was cold.
Ian
He was
Wheeler.
gonna be
And he
the
runs a
guy.
4.35.
He was
He
cold.
was gonna be
He
the
was
guy.
cold.
He was improving.
He was
That
cold,
ACL
but it's no point
that
talking
ACL
about him
score,
right
Yeah,
now.
he
ACL
hurt.
tear. That
Yeah.
ACL tear kept him out. The
DeAndre was really not a bad running back.
He
last
was a
season.
good running back. He was a running back.
He was solid.
Because think about our last 8.
I'm sick of acting like solid is good. Like solid is
He was
just,
he was going to be better
It's
than
a
solid.
solid as a
because
C.
wait, who was our last stat guy? Who was our last HBCU running back?
Tariq Cohen.
And Cohen, before his injury,
Cold. But Cohen gave it to you out the backfield and in the passing game.
but with
He
that,
went to NCAT.
but with
Cohen
that,
went to NCAT.
but with that speed,
4-4 guy, yes. 4-4
this is what
guy.
I'm saying. So if we could get, because if we're being honest, every team is looking for a Tyreek Hill. If you could get a
in some
Tyreek Hill
in some capacity,
yeah. On the other side of that, Saquon Barkley, somebody who can catch the ball, someone who can catch the ball out of the backfield, sure hands, and who can evade tackles.
First missed tackle
Run
or
fast
first
as
break
fuck.
tackle is
Which is the reason we never should have got rid of Montgomery, but that's a whole
Swift
nother.
is like a
That-
four.
that's
a sub.
another
That's a
podcast.
whole nother
That's
because if
another
we
podcast.
had Montgomery, we wouldn't be having.
We wanted to
these
keep
problems.
Montgomery. But
I agree with that. Montgomery is one of the best draft picks that we had in a long time.
there's a lot of people in the chat that were bringing up some sorry guys because of the technical difficulties. We didn't get to the chat the way we are, but there are some questions. Let's talk about this or that. Let's talk about Lambeau. Let's talk about Brian.
Lambeau's a good field. What we talking about?
Just wanting to give some shout outs to the guys, Brian Price, that are going in the chat heavy.
If the Bears are going to create a field that's like Lambeau Field, I'm for it. Lambeau Field is a good field.
I like
People
it.
Gone to a game?
No, I've just seen the schematic when it was built.
It's a good,
when it was renovated. It was renovated.
Lambeau is a good place to be. If you could go to a Bears game, a Bears Packers game,
It's on my
at
bucket
Lambeau
list.
Field,
About a 4-hour drive, give or take.
It should be on every Bears fan's bucket list. That is a great game.
Thanks for quantifying that. I'll definitely put that on my short bucket list.
And Packers fans are not that bad. And when you're the singular person, it's a lot different.
Understand the rivalries is
It is, but it's a lot different. Chicago Bears fans are very annoying. I love it. I'm a Bears fan.
It's people in the chat that are Bears fans, and they'll come at me because I am the cautiously optimistic / realist of the group.
They also
I don't drink the
at
Kool-Aid.
TV.
I don't drink the Kool-Aid.
We're not as bad as Cowboys fans.
Actually, we are. And I'm gonna tell you. And I'm gonna tell
I
you.
never see nobody destroy TV over the Bears.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why we are as bad as the Cowboys. Because what do they always say? Cowboys are America's team.
Well, they not.
That's what they say, right?
That's from the 90s. They ain't been America's team since 1999.
I think the Patriots took over the American team kind of thing, right?
What year did Emmitt Smith retire?
Cardinals 2002, 3, somewhere around there.
So 2001,
5, somewhere
2
around
years
there.
before he
haven't
retired
been
was the
American
last
team
time
since then.
So,
but since
they're
Jerry
still
Jones got that
labeled-
money,
there you go. They're
since
still
Jerry
labeled.
Jones got that money, they gonna be anything to fuck.
He's
I'm
saying.
Well,
sorry
I mean,
about that.
everybody
They're gonna
has
be
a
anything.
wait. Why are you apologizing?
Because I don't know if I'm supposed to drop F-bombs, but
Damn,
since
well,
he
you
got
good.
that,
Thanks for telling me. 'Cause
It's cool.
Since he got that money, his team gonna be whatever he
I mean,
says.
everybody needs a nickname.
And I give
The
you that
Bears
because
ain't been the monsters of Midway for a long time.
there you go. It sells. But the bigger issue for me is when I say sometimes our fandom, right, overtakes logic and reality. What have we seen with the last regime? I'm not going to go back to Mitch. I'm not going to go back to Nagy and all that. Just under Ryan Pohl's tutelage, be it with George. Shout out to George because we like George McCaskey. that is.
Ryan Poles isn't bad.
He's not bad, but he's not great. He's solid, which is that damn C again.
But I think I would.
My mother didn't like me get C's. If I got a C, I had to do
I'm
extra
gonna
work.
be honest with
I
you.
don't like C's.
Solid.
C is not
solid. He is not.
C
to
is
me,
solid.
He's not. No. C is not a solid.
C
solid
is not
a B.
solid. B
No.
is solid. B is solid. Yes, it is.
How?
B
Because
minus maybe.
There's room for improvement.
A
There's
C
room
is
for
not
improvement,
solid. A 2.0.
but you're not
That's
unsatisfactory.
No.
Yes.
2.5 is average. Means you get B's and C's.
I would say a C is just because right in the middle you got A, B, then you
But
got
you
D,
get-
F,
but if-
C is
But
right in
if
the middle.
I get 2 B's and 2 C's, I have a 2.5. That is average. That is to me a solid. Solid is 2.5 right in the middle.
But then they'll tell you if you get a 2.0 across the board, you passed.
That don't mean nothing.
So right
What
now
we're
the Bears
saying-
just
so
passed.
What I'm
So
saying
Frank
about
said
Ryan
a
Poles
B
is he
minus
has
is
swings
solid.
and misses, like old boy from Pittsburgh. What was that trade for the second round pick?
Talk about Megan Fitzpatrick, that trade.
No. We're talking about our pick. Who's the wide receiver that we got?
Chase Claypool.
There we go. We have Chase Claypool. Terrible. But then we also have re-signing Cole Kmet. I think that was a good move. I liked the draft of Caleb. I know everybody is really high on old boy from Washington. I know everybody really loves him. I think that was a completely different situation because
Are you a Caleb fan?
I was not a Caleb fan before we drafted him. I didn't think that he was mentally prepared for a city like Chicago.
He still ain't.
I think that he's getting there.
Wow, for real?
I think that he's getting there. I did not think that he was mentally prepared. And it was mostly because now, given I am a proponent of men crying, I think that you should have your feelings.
Get it out.
Have your feelings. All right.
Have your Steel Magnolia moment.
Listen, do that. Therapy is important. But in a city like Chicago is rough. Look what they did to Justin Fields. They had that boy meditating after he sit on the bench. He had to meditate.
You know why?
Because
we go ahead and bring Luke Getsy in to be
he had to meditate because he was running for his fucking life.
Caleb knows that struggle.
You told me I couldn't say that word.
Caleb
he was running for his freaking life.
Caleb knows that struggle.
Yes, because that's all he did at USC.
No, he knows it because that's
60, knows it here.
68 sacks last year.
But USC, his last season at USC,
it was tumultuous.
He was running for his life.
It definitely was.
He was running for his life. And that's the reason why he was able to be semi-successful. He was graded poorly, whatever. But he was able to be semi-successful behind a poor offensive line simply because he was used to it.
So watch this, Jay. I'm going to challenge you this. When you say semi-successful, this is where I have the problem. Our bar for Chicago Bears
in the ground.
It's so low.
Like, people think Jay Cutler was a great quarterback. That's where we're at.
He was
on paper. He was.
What's our favorite word?
He was solid.
No, he was better than solid.
No,
he was better.
Did he throw like 25 touchdowns?
Today's program is brought to us by the letter S. Solid.
I'm not a Jay Cutler fan. I did not like Jay Cutler, but he was the best on paper.
He was the best that we've had. But that's my point. When we're talking about a bar. We're talking about the bar.
Our bar is huge. Like our
for
bar
Jay
is
Cutler
not
to
here.
be the
Our
best, Jim Miller. People be talking about Jim Miller still.
Hey, Jim Miller used to sling that thing, though. He used to sling the hell out of that ball.
He did.
Where's Cameron?
He used to sling that. He used to sling the hell out of that
so
ball.
Did Jay Cutler.
He did.
And we still have not had a 30 touchdown passer or a 40
we have not.
I think we'll get there.
Well, I think, and this is where I say we end up putting the cart before the horse.
It is, and if you
he'll get that.
He'll get there,
but we won't win.
He'll get there, but we might, because the way this team is constructed. If you notice how we've constructed this team, the wide receivers, the tight ends, these are run after the catch guys.
Yeah, guys.
We're getting, and that's something we haven't had. What we had before was we had a whole bunch of people who were trying to take the top off the field, and the quarterback couldn't get it to him. Right? All right. Justin. Okay.
Well, Justin didn't throw the ball, so.
But when he threw it down the field, it was.
Oh no, he threw it great long. It was the short stuff that was crazy.
Listen. But you had people who were small, no wiggle. You had people who were really fast, couldn't get the ball. So what they've constructed is, to me, this is a very 49ers-esque team. That's how the 49ers made it through the playoffs to the Super Bowl. They're a yard after catch guys, right? The Rams, yard after catch guys. That's how this team is constructed. Now, is it going to work? I don't know. I have more faith in that. I have more faith in people being able to get loose and run than I have somebody throwing a bomb. You want it. I want those big plays. They're very pretty. Caleb does a good job at them, but I need yard after catch. And I think that's
so. I agree half in part, but part of me is like, one, starting from the top down. You put a lot on Ben Johnson. Being this offensive guru, he still has to learn how to be
a lot is expected of Ben.
It is a lot of expected, but he still has to learn how to be a head coach. You have to give him that buffer. If he doesn't give you a Matt Nagy 12-4, well, that would be 12-5 season because it's 17 games now. We shouldn't be mad at him talking about he didn't know he gotta, because you know how we are.
9 wins.
I said between 7 and 9. 2.
Nowadays, coaches are getting one season.
He's not gonna get one season.
Not
One
well.
season.
Eberflus shouldn't have got. That's another story.
You're
Never.
right.
He
you are
shouldn't have
absolutely
even,
right.
They shortchanged. That was not right. Again, I state that was not on Ryan Poles. They shortchanged that man. They gave him a. Huh?
They gave him 3 options to pick.
Thank you. They gave him. They didn't give him his own list.
But he shouldn't have picked that guy who's never
Who
done
are the other
anything.
people on the list?
Dan Quinn, you saw what he just did with the Redskins. And Jim Caldwell, who every quarterback he touches goes to the playoffs. 3 of them with the Super Bowl.
Remember, guys,
Jim Caldwell got 3 Super Bowl rings.
Trace
As a
Armstrong
head coach?
was
Two
responsible.
was a head.
Was mostly
No, one is a head
responsible
coach.
for this.
Who is the Super Bowl ring with the head coach?
I'm sorry, no, he has one is a coordinator.
There we go.
2 is a coordinator. 1 is a quarterback's coach.
This is
So
what
you
I'm.
got the Colts and the
Okay.
Ravens. Yeah.
Okay, I give you that. Now, I feel what you're saying. Right? But who's to say that I'm going to put the success of the Redskins, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put the success on the Redskins as far as coach is concerned. I feel like it was the innovation of their quarterbacks coach. Him coming in.
Cliff Kingsbury was the OC.
Exactly. Him coming in and going down to LSU and said, how did you teach him plays? How did he work? They studied how he studied.
Correct.
And that's how they brought it up. That was
They
not
talked to Herm Edwards too.
that was their offensive coordinator and that was their quarterbacks coach. Now, not saying the head coach don't have nothing to do with that. And the head coach is just like anybody is the CEO. If you listen to the people who are under you, you put people who are educated and do it, and you listen to them, that's on you. But
Dan Quinn went to the Super Bowl with the Falcons, so Dan Quinn is
I'm just saying,
poised. He's in it. He's done
I'm not saying it was the best coach. I'm not saying it was the best choice, but I just feel like I don't know how much choice he had.
Trace Armstrong.
I don't know
Like
how
T
much
said,
choice
that
he
was the
had
choice.
when he got hired, and then they said you got 24 hours to make a decision. That's
They damn
not.
near picked the coach before they picked the.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Like you can't.
That's
There's
true.
no. You can't even make a really good choice. It's like you just.
Trace Armstrong, if you can
vibes.
come on the show and shed a little light, you probably won't now because we just basically said your guy sucks, but whatever.
Who said this?
Well-
who said those words?
Matt Eberflus sucks. I'm saying it. He sucks as a head coach. It is
As a
undeniable.
defensive coordinator.
He was-
So I'm thinking that
he was above that.
He's
we should wrap up this Bears talk because it's getting late.
solid.
But
Look better.
so we're seeing now what kind of talk we're gonna get on She Said What She Said.
I love it.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Jay has a lot to say. Evidently, you seen that Seaway. She had a lot to say about the Chicago Sky. JB always has a lot to say about the Bears. So it's gonna be exciting. But I think right now we need to go ahead and wrap it up because I'm ready to go home and I know they are too. So let's get in the shout outs. And during the shout outs,
Praise the praise.
I will give you the words. So let's go ahead and get in the shout outs. Commish, hit that music.
I don't hear the music.
Give me that here. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Commish, come in. Come in. Can you hear me?
It's playing.
I just texted it.
We got music. Well, I guess we can do it without music. We don't necessarily need it.
The phrase that pays.
Yeah, I know everybody is waiting for that. Everybody is waiting for that. All 4 of them. So let me get to it. Here's the music.
He said the music is playing. Let's get it.
It is?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh. Okay. Well, Jay, why don't you go ahead and start off the shout outs? So basically we just shout out whoever we want to give a big up to.
That's That's deep. Who do I want to give a big up to right now? I feel like we gave Angel Reese her flowers today, so I'm gonna do that. Shout out to Angel Reese. But I'm gonna give a shout out to my mother, who, if I was born in 1983, I would have been a Cubs fan. But I was born in 1984, and I admire that level of petty, is being so upset at a team that you make your child a fan of the opposite team.
That's crazy.
So the Cubs pissed her off in 1983. So now I'm a White Sox fan. So shout out to my mom, Jay.
That was a deep shout out. That was deep. Wow.
We're gonna talk about that later.
There's levels.
So that's your only one?
That's my shout out.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to Seaway. We're gonna have a good time. For sure. And shout out to all my toxic relationships with the Bears and the White Sox and the Bulls and the Blackhawks.
Chicago.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry about
that's
that.
it.
JB, it's on you.
Normally, I'm Johnny on the spot with the chat, but
Shout out all 5 people in the chat.
because it was tough because we had people that were on and clearly checked back out.
Yeah, because
First of all, shout out to Crook in the back, our super producer. Shout out to Janet Dominguez, my brother from another, giving us that Cali love, LA love, bullets. I want to say a shout out to Brian Price. Brian Price he came on and he was, on it, I believe. We need to get Brian Price in a little earlier. Shout out to Franco Dowd. And Jay, shout out to you. This was a great back and forth. I loved it. T, shout out to you, my brother.
my man.
Shout out to Foul Mouth, who's not here. Shout out to Seaway, who had to leave, and Frank the Tank, our core. And shout out to Mr. Chicago, Easy, more of the CCP family. And then shout out to any family that I have watching and friends and, whoever watching SB and them. And then shout out to, if we only got one person watching, which it looked like she might be the only person still watching. Shout out to the podcast mom, my mom, most affectionately known as Sandra Bynum Holmes. My mom.
All right, so I'm gonna try to keep my shout outs short. However, I will tell you how to win these Bears preseason tickets as well. But my first shout out, of course, our guests. Well, they're no longer guests; they're actually family now. CCP family, Chicago Clubhouse Network family. Welcome, Jay and Seaway. Thank you all. Thank you. This was a very quite a learning experience for me, because I'm not gonna front. I don't know much about the Chicago Sky, so I'm not gonna talk about what I don't know.
Seaway gonna get you right.
But I look forward to learning from you with Seaway. I look forward to hearing about it on the podcast. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. But shout out to you guys. Also, shout out to the chat, everybody that was in the chat. All 6 of you, 7 of you.
7 now. It was a little bit earlier.
all 7 of you in the chat. We appreciate you for watching. However, if you didn't say anything, and I don't know who didn't say anything, if you didn't say anything, you are officially a lurker.
L for love. Good times.
However, the L is for lurker, and you were lurking, but we appreciate you too. It was, right? You were lurking. But we appreciate you too for putting up with our foolishness. And now I have more shout outs. No, I have more shout outs. I tricked you. I tricked you.
It's funny.
I want to
was
shout
waiting
out.
for it.
I want to shout out Moore's Beer.
Hey,
Where is my Moors,
the
brother?
homies.
I got some
that
for you.
Nat King Cole.
I
that
got
Nat King
some- wait,
Cole.
Did you see the orange can they got? The new they got.
Yeah,
Moore's
that-
got the coldest
that's
cans in the game.
infused.
Shout out to Jamal.
That is
Shout out to Jamal.
infused with weed.
Oh no, I can't.
Oh no, but shout out to Jamal for Moore's.
Shout
Yeah, Jamal and Damon.
And Damon.
Damon, my guy, of course. Always, brother. Shout out to you, man. And I gotta get some more of that orange can. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You might need it after the Bears game.
Wow. That's another podcast too. I'll address that. But yeah, so okay. Now you give them the journal. I am going to give you the second hint to get both my preseason club seats to the Bears game. So last week, the hint was I'm not going to tell you. You have to go back and watch the previous episode if you want to know what it was. You see what I did there? I tricked you. Again, I'm a trickster. So this week, the hint is, okay, so the first hint for, damn, I need my glasses.
You put them readers on.
Yeah. So for the Miami game, that is going to be August 10th. Is going to be at noon, Sunday noon. The hint for that. Now, remember, you're putting together a sentence. And I gave you the first word of that sentence last week. And I'm not going to tell you what that word was. Like I said, you have to go back and watch the previous episode to get that word. But this word, this week, is Clubhouse. I'll say it again. Clubhouse. And that is for the Miami game on Sunday, August 10th. Clubhouse. Now, you will no longer hear me say that word. You will no longer hear me say that word in reference to the hint. Okay, so for the Buffalo game on Sunday, August 17th at noon. Sunday, August 17th at noon. The second word is little. 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 If you want to know the first word, I'm not going to tell you. Go watch the episode. You'll get the first word. Okay? So that those second words, you have them now. I've given them to you. So I'm not going to say them anymore. That's it. Gone. If you want to know them, watch the episode. Press rewind, whatever you need to do. Pull the little thing all the way back and watch the whole episode. Then you'll get the word. All right? And so for my man, JB, the stat man, who knows every single stat from every single team, even the Sky found out. Yeah, shit, okay. And then, of course, Jay, she knows all about the Sky, too. I'm your boy, T-Nick, point guard, quarterback, whatever the hell you want to call me. But we out.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production. He wasn't playing around. Oh, we could still.
You're still here. It's over.